Welcome to the 17th Annual PEGASYS Awards for Cablecasting Excellence, sponsored by Time Warner Cable. I'm Lauren Stefanelli, the manager of PEGASYS, and I'll be your host. And I just want to say that I'm really glad to see all of you guys here, because this is the one time a year that we get to hi Nanda, that we get to all get together and celebrate something that is really special. It's sort of, my job is kind of the best job in Ithaca, because I get to work with people that are doing stuff not because somebody is cracking a whip over them. Well, okay, I'll leave my staff out of that. I actually do crack a whip over them, but the rest of you guys are all here because you love what you do, and you're doing something that is creative, lets you inform people, lets you help people very often, lets you get the word out about things that are important in this community, and lets all of us keep in touch. I was just telling someone who mentioned that people saw him on TV over and over, and it's true. People click with their clicker every half hour or even more, and when they see somebody they know on TV, they stop, and that's what happens when they get to our channels. They see somebody they know. They see their friends and their neighbors, and they stop and they find out what's going on. So thank you all for coming, and thank you all for participating in our competition. I have a sort of a different point of view of the PEGASYS Awards than a lot of you guys. I know when you enter an awards competition, you're competing and you want to win. From my point of view, as the coordinator of the competition, I kind of love to see people, everybody's included. I want to represent the best of what we can do. So everybody that entered is a winner, and the more people that enter, the more we can show the community in one big program how diverse and how wonderful all of our offerings are. We get a lot of comments after these shows, some not just from the people that are here who usually make these comments too, but from people that see the show, that say that after seeing all the clips of all the different entrants, in this case we have 30 entrants in this competition, after seeing all those clips, they're just amazed at what quality and what diversity people on a volunteer basis making community programs are able to achieve, and how much value we really offer to our friends and neighbors, all because we want to, because we love to. Well, you guys anyway, and for me, I'm really happy to get to help. So how I'm helping tonight is by honoring all of you for all of your work in the whole past year. This competition is for all programs produced in the year 2001, and all of you have programs in front of you. For the people at home, we have 9 categories, 9 different program categories tonight, and in addition, we sort of have, this is sort of like the Miss America contest where the winner gets to go on to Miss Universe. Yes, well, the best shows that are produced for public access, the 2 best shows, and the 2 best shows produced for the educational and government access channels will be sent on to a national access competition called the Hometown Awards. So we'll be making those announcements too. But before we get started with the awards, I would like to give a few special thanks, which you also see in your programs. We can't do a competition like this without having some judges that are willing to sit down and look through all these entries and actually take the time to kind of be fair and review them. Every year I get, in the effort to get independent judges where there isn't just insider, whatever, every year I get different judges. So every year there are 3 different judges from different walks of life. In this case we have a teacher, we have a journalist, and we have an access producer, which is kind of a good combination. And our judges this year, and I'd like to read their 3 names and then have us all give them a round of applause for all of their effort, because it's a lot of work looking at all these tapes. The first is Barbara Waltag, who is the TV journal editor for the Ithaca Journal. The second is Joyce Mukin, who is an administrator up at Cornell and is also on the Tompkins County Human Rights Commission and has also produced several documentaries for PEGASYS. And the third is Brian Van Kampen, who produces Take Two down here, does movie reviews for News Center 7 and for the Ithaca Times. So those were our 3 judges this year. And basically they watch the shows and they score them, and then the average of the 3 judges is the final score, and the best score in each category wins. In addition, I'd like to thank our sponsor, A&B Trophies, who helped underwrite the cost of our wonderful PEGASYS trophies that you see behind me on the table, which will be awarded tonight. And I think they're really quite distinctive, and they really add something to our ceremony, so I'd like to really thank them. So if I could have a round of applause for my judges. Thank you. Okay. Let me also mention that you're going to see a clip of every single entrant here tonight. We're going to see a little taste of everything, and we're going to do it category by category. So our first category is arts event programming, things that were shot of the wonderful cultural diversity we have here in Tompkins County. We've got 3 entries. The first is No Idea by Mike Brute Band. The second is from the Grassroots Festival this year, a musician called Boubacar Traoré, which I probably just mispronounced, by Richard Raba and Laurie Hanley. And the third is an Ithaca High School orchestra concert by the Gun Hill Studio, the students at Ithaca High School. So if we could take a look at this monitor now, we'll get to see clips from all 3 of those. And we're back. And the winner, I will go right to it. The winner in the arts event category is Boubacar Traoré by Richard Raba and Laurie Hanley.
Thank you.
And it's your moment to speak.
I'm very much surprised. I'd like to
To the
thank.
mic.
Very much surprised. We weren't expecting this, I don't think. I'd like to thank everybody at PEGASYS for their generous amount of time and help with us.
And it was fun.
And it
a
was
lot of
fun.
It's fun every year at the grassroots, and I hope you all come next year.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks, Lauren.
Those of you who are here, who are looking at Category 2 on your program will see that I'm going to have a hard time generating suspense. Because there's only one entrant in this category by the Tompkins County's Jim Blizzard, who taped a deer population control meeting and submitted it for the community meeting category. And we will play a clip from it, and I actually don't see Jim here, but I do want to take the opportunity to say that the Tompkins County staff, led by Jim Blizzard, tape tons of important meetings. They tape 2 Board of Reps meetings a month. They tape everything from citizen and naturalization meetings to deer control meetings to anything that they think is significant in the community, including supporting things happening with the Tompkins County Library. They're huge. One of the county's dogs is here. That's okay. So maybe we can have Junior accept on Jim's behalf, if Jim wins. But so let's take a minute to look at the meeting that Jim submitted and acknowledge our debt to the Tompkins County government for making this investment in bringing this information to the wider community.
Under process on that graph says the first treatment, capture, tag. Everything we do has to be under the authority of the Food and Drug Administration. If you were to choose to do this, a proposal would have to be written, and it has to go to the Food and Drug Administration because by law, white-tailed deer are food animals, and anything you do with them is under their authority if the drug crosses a state line. They're kind of cryptic in the answers they give us and the letters they send us, and in some places we don't have to catch them. Other places we do have to catch them and tag them. So we don't even know. We couldn't even say they have to be caught and tagged. We have one letter that more or less indicates we don't have to do that possibly anymore, depending on the adjuvant that we use. So that's kind of misleading, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. It could be that way. The efficacy portion of this is probably fairly accurate. Logistical constraints, easier to capture for treatment a few does, but increasingly difficult to capture a higher percentage of those. That hasn't been our experience with darting. We don't seem to have any more
Okay.
problems.
I know looking at a city meeting or a county meeting or a public meeting doesn't look all that exciting, but Jim told me when he gave me that tape that one show about deer population control, all about what should they do about the deer munching their way through everybody's suburban backyards, ornamental shrubs, plants, gardens, and everything else, drew more phone calls, more comments by the public than any other single meeting that they had done throughout 2001, which is why he entered it. They got more calls for copies and other things. So obviously, to people who are very deeply concerned with that issue, that actually is like a top Hollywood draw. And since Jim Blizzard's dog is here tonight, along with his keeper, I see no reason why Junior Blizzard couldn't pick up this award. Junior, why don't you come on up? Robin, you're going to have to help him, I think. Come on, Junior. This is Junior Blizzard, Jim Blizzard's dog. Come on up, Junior.
You gave to sit up
Look,
and
your dad.
Okay, sit, Junior.
Your dad won an award.
No. No.
I think Junior's comments will be brief. All right, Robin, could you hang on to this for Junior?
Okay. Sure.
All right.
Oh, that's wonderful.
All right, Junior. Junior's finishing his treat. So we're going to go on to the next category, which, as you will see from your program, is a very tightly contested category, Category 3, Variety. There are 7 contestants in this category. And what's really nice about it is they come from people downtown, people at the colleges, and we actually have an entrant from TC3 for the first time this year, which I'm really thrilled about. So there's a really broad range of people entering shows that are made to entertain in every single variety of formats possible. So I think you'll be pleased with this bunch of clips and impressed with the skill of the producers who put these shows together. I'm going to read a list of them off before we take a look at the clips. UFO in Smithica, the second generation by Ritva Cederstrom, who actually taught herself, along with Pauline Layton, how to operate the nonlinear editor by making this show. You Think You Know Sports by Brian Terwilliger at Ithaca College, and Quabble. Quabble's my guilty pleasure. I show at ICTV that I watch all the time, and I don't like to admit that I watch it, but I do. So I love Quabble. This is a new thing, just in, I think, 2 years, is it, that you've had Quabble? So that they just sort of invented it, and actually I've seen something similar on the Comedy Channel maybe, but you guys do it actually as well, if not better than the Comedy Channel. It's really funny, so you should check it out on ICTV. I hope you get intrigued by this clip. This one's by Dave Lefchuk. This Show by Matt Spinner, who made this as a TC3 student and sort of made it sort of in between here and TC3. A New York Story by Daniel Levin, or Levin or Levine? Levin. Who is now living in Washington, D.C., but he made this as, and you'll never believe this when you see it, this was his very first video that he ever made. It's an actual full-blown movie, a full-blown movie that someone makes as their first project, and we kept telling him that he couldn't do it, and he refused to believe us, so finally he proved us wrong. And number 6 is Unavailable, a weekly series through last fall, produced by Chris Yoakum and starring a special guest. And finally, number 7, High School Challenge, a staple of both PBS and public access, produced by the video classes at TC3, which are now led by Chris Exaver, who's right here. And so let's take a look at all of the programs in the variety category.
Name the hockey player nicknamed the Finnish Flash. Dave.
Salami?
Yep.
Yeah.
Salami. Yeah, 2 good ones.
Good nicknames.
Which college basketball coach was called Michelangelo?
One of the best ever.
Right?
John Wooden.
Nope. Chad.
Smith?
Yeah.
We can go with the Bulls.
All right. Name one of the 2 high school players drafted by the Bulls, Drew.
Eddie Carey.
Yep. The other one was
Tyson
Tyson
Chandler.
Chandler. But of course, you knew that, Dubs.
And they play like 10 minutes a game right now.
And they're, what, 1 in...
How smart the
12?
Bulls are, I don't know.
They're so bad. They need Jordan back, but... All right, who had the last correct answer?
We'll finish that.
All right, last Bulls question.
Thank God.
What type of offense did the Bulls and Coach Axel make famous for?
Triangle.
Yes. All right, we're done with the Bulls.
Boy, I heard they had frozen mini wheats on sale.
Well, yes, they are.
I didn't want you to get them. I just heard it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, there's some eggs. We should go get some eggs.
No, let's not.
We can make French
I
toast.
heard they're bad for you. And I heard they're round.
And I heard they're deadly.
Why should you buy those eggs?
They're evil eggs, you know. You know, they just sometimes throw themselves at houses.
You smell that?
Yes, I do. Is that brood?
It's terror.
Oh. Yes, I do smell that as well.
I don't like being here.
I think we're gonna have to go anyway.
I'm not going. You know what happened last time? There was all the creamed corn! All the creamed corn! It was in my throat! I didn't like it! I didn't like... Where the cantaloupe? Where the cantaloupe?
Listen.
I didn't like it.
But maybe you big silly. You touch me or my cat, you'll cease to exist. I'll make sure of that. Oh! I see how it is now. Maybe I didn't before, Okay? But I see how it is now. It just makes me want to fart. Fart. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. You always say that right before you fart. Fart. Fart.
So? Did you bring the stuff? Yes, best in town. Well, let's see. Come on. Hey, I hope you're being square about all of this. It would be difficult to ruin this occasion.
I feel better. I hate you, and you hate me. I hate everyone. I've got to pee. Thank you. That is my first song. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We will take another call now after that song of hate. Absolute terror. Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. Hello. Unavailable. You're on the golf show. How may I help you?
Just drinking a beer here.
Yes, beer is absolutely wonderful. I am drunk off my ass.
Really?
No.
I was just wondering why you're so negative on TV.
I am gothic.
All right, here's your bonus, Athens, historical phrases. I want you to complete these phrases from American history for 5 points apiece. 2 chickens in every pot and? A car in every garage. That's right. 5440?
Or fight.
Yes, now he belongs to the?
Ages. Ages.
Ages is correct, said about Lincoln. Don't fire until you see?
The whites of their eyes.
Absolutely correct.
20 points.
20 points, well done. Trademarks, the category of the next bonus. Here's the toss-up. For 10 points, on February 22nd, 1865, the last open Confederate port fell to the Union Army. Name the North Carolina...
Cooperstown, Tim.
Target.
Sorry, no, I'll finish it. Name the North Carolina port city. Athens? The answer is Wilmington.
You guys at home are probably going to hear that feedback a couple more times during the show because we found that our studio monitors, audio monitor is not working, so we're overdriving the one in the control room, so that's what that was. Before I announce the winner in this category, I do find sometimes that people tend to run away after their category and not stay to the end. So in order to avoid that, I'm going to let you in on a little secret to keep a little more suspense going here, and that is that when we get to the best public access and the best educational/governmental access shows at the end, that's 4 shows that we're sending on to the Hometown Awards. As it happens, 2 of them won in their categories and 2 of them did not. It's just the way it works in terms of overall point value. Even if you came in 2nd or 3rd in your category, if you were still one of the 2 best public access shows or E/G access shows, you could still win the best public access or best educational governmental access. And that's sort of the way it worked out. So, hey, we're still got a little feedback here, Paul. So those of you that maybe didn't win in your category, stick with us because you may still be a winner at the end, one of the grand prize winners. And obviously all 7 of these can't win, although I think I heard a lot of chuckles, so a lot of people got some entertainment value out of them. And we do have a lot of entertaining programs on all of our 5 channels. But I'm not going to have suspense anymore in this category. The winner is Daniel Levin for A New York Story. first-time producer takes the prize. And I'd also like to read out the names of some of his crew members, including Robert Bernard, Robert Schwartzbach, Alexander Kordun, and Alexander Slivkins, who are given certificates as crew members. And Daniel, say something to us about what it took to make this program.
Well, it took a lot of patience on the part of Lauren.
Did I mention that Daniel came here from Washington to be here tonight?
Oh, wow.
Well, it is a very, very important moment, and I just want to thank all my crew members and all the actors and Lauren and Paul Smith back there for their wonderful support and understanding and for letting me do this project because it was a first project.
Breaking all our rules about first projects.
So thanks a lot. Thank you very much. This was possible because of you people.
Congratulations. All right, we're on to category number 4, religion, philosophy. If you look at access channels, you'll find that sometimes, in our case, maybe about a third of all the programming is religious/philosophical in nature. We have quite a lot of Christian programming and some alternate religions as well, some of which are represented tonight by the Wiccans, which is really good. However, we have two candidates, two local religious programs that entered in this category that we're going to see. Good news, produced by Nancy Raza. Nancy Raza has been trooping down to her church for 10 years, shooting the service every single Sunday and making a new show and putting it on TV so that people in her parish, people in her church group that can't get out to the service, that are shut-ins or that are elderly, can still see it. It's an amazing amount of work. The whole church has sort of renovated itself to do audio wiring, change the decor so that it was a little better suited to TV instead of the bright, shiny white walls. They've changed that. They've changed a bunch of things, and she has stuck with it all this time. It's just an amazing dedication. The second contestant, God is Greater, by Paul MacLean. Paul has been going out to his church, also weekly. Each week, these two producers bring us a show of that week's service from their pastor, and it goes on TV 3 times, and everybody gets to see it, and everybody gets to share in that without having to leave their living room couches. And all of that work you may take for granted if you turn it on, but think of what is involved week after week to do that. And so I'd like you to think about that as you take a look at our two contestants in the religious category, which we're going to show you now.
But if we put God in a box, it's like this how we manipulate. You see, how life goes on here in America has been such that we think we can manipulate everything. Amen. It's like, let's restructure this company and make human resources more performing. And there is that search conference here and there. So we think God also prays the same way. And we come and we do surgery on the Holy Ghost and remove the intestines of the Holy Ghost and his liver here. And then we like you see, like Thanksgiving turkey. It's like you put the stuffing in there. You see, sometimes we know how to manipulate things so much so that you see, it doesn't work like that. Amen.
And we're back. We actually do not have either of our two contestants for the religious category here to accept their award, so I'm going to read out the winner anyway and hope that you can just give them your appreciation. The winner in the religious category is God is Greater by Paul MacLean. So if you can give him a round of applause. Hopefully hopefully you'll see this on TV, Paul, and we all appreciate that you did a great job with this show. And I'd also like to read off the name of his crew members, including Jessica Ripka, Rebecca Ripka, and Charles Fries, who worked on that regularly. And funny, that particular show was one that had a guest pastor. That's not the regular pastor. And I had mentioned to Paul that I found this particular speaker so fascinating that I had watched the whole thing straight through, thereby neglecting all of my duties while I was on the clock because I was so fascinated by his rhetorical capabilities. And he immediately submitted it for a PEGASYS Award, and you won, so congratulations. Okay, we're going to move on to another very hotly contested category because I see a lot of people representing these shows here, the youth category. There are 3 contestants in this category, all submitted by students either at Ithaca High School or the Alternative Community School. And both of these programs, all of these shows are produced by programs produced by 2 really extraordinary teachers at Ithaca High School. There's Jeff Spence, who has been working since 1995, which is, oh my God, is that 7 years now? Who has been working at building up a program and creating enough equipment and enough capability. And we've been helping him supply equipment, but building up a program that can really achieve quite a lot of quality. And I'm sometimes overwhelmed with what the students from IHS can achieve in some of their segments. It's really quite amazing. Meanwhile, at the Alternative Community School, the extraordinary teacher is Karl Madeo, who's also been there from the beginning of their program. In fact, Karl Madeo, no, he wasn't there from the beginning of their program, was he? That was Chris Sperry who started. Chris Sperry started even farther back. He started in 1986, if you can believe that. And the worst part is that I remember that. Karl Madeo started a little bit later, but he has stuck through the group for at least 5 years now, right? Yeah, longer than that. And with teachers like that, we've tried to get schools interested in doing things, and what it really turns out that we've learned is that without a Karl Madeo, without a Jeff Spence, there can't be a program at a school. Without the teacher that's willing to do that work and push for the money, push for the funding, push for accreditation, push to create that environment that lets the schools do it, it simply doesn't happen. We've tried it in other schools, and we couldn't find a stellar teacher like that that really was able to pull it together, and the programs failed time after time after time after time. It's the biggest thing we learned. So you guys that are at Ithaca High School or the Alternative Community School, you should really value the fact that you've got these 2 extraordinary teachers with you. But after that big build-up, I'm going to go on to the clips. We have 3 clips. One is an episode from the weekly series Tales of the Ox by the Alternative Community School class led by Karl Madeo. The second is Ego and Id, also by the Alternative Community School. The third is the weekly series Lake Street News by the Gun Hill Studios, which is the Ithaca High School student class led by Jeff Spence. So the 2 groups are running head-to-head in this category. We've got 3 entries, and let's take a look at them now.
I know who I am. Really? Who are you? I don't remember my name. Of course you don't. Things like names are false pretenses. They are meant to separate you from the whole, to give you an identity that does not exist. However, in here, such things are useless against yourself. Who are you? My profession is another false pretense, another identity that is made with the sole purpose of distracting oneself. Distracting oneself from what?
Patriotic Day caused an uprising when Chris Midgley and Josh Smith decided to display their patriotism by playing the national anthem on their electric guitars and were shut down by high school security guards because of the disruption to neighboring classes. Students were enraged that the school wouldn't allow the national anthem to be played in between periods, especially after September 11th tragedy. Students were protested by forming a human wall around the scene and shouted in favor of Chris Midgley's proposal of not going to their classes until it is played.
I think it's only fair that we get to play, and if we don't, none of you have to go back to class.
Students literally took it to heart, the fact that for only a short time their own anthem couldn't be played.
USA! 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 USA!
So I would like to put in a plug for both of these programs before I announce the winner. These are weekly shows that go on, and every one is different. It's not like a lot of series that you might see, like, say, my favorite that I see, Quabble, for instance, where you know what to expect week after week because they've got a format. These shows depend on the creativity of students. So it could be journalism one week. It could be something totally creative or dramatic another week. It could be a student event another week. It's pretty much, you just never know what you're going to get, like Forrest Gump would say. And every week, some weeks it's just something really, really, really extraordinary, really wonderful. I frankly think that the programs from the high schools, the two high schools, are the best produced, most creative, most innovative programs that we have on any of the 5 channels produced locally. And so I really encourage you guys to take a look. Friday nights at 7 is Lake Street News, and Friday nights at 9 is Tales of the Ox, both playing on Channel 16, our educational access channel. So if you want to see what the future of television is going to be like, watch those 2 shows. But I do have to announce a winner, and the winner is... Oh yeah, we did cut off the anthem, didn't we? Just like those school administrators, so sorry. Oh well, timed out at 1 minute. The winner is Ego and Id by the Alternative Community School.
Thank you very much.
And the person that you saw there on camera was Lucian Dodge, that's right?
That's correct.
And Will Yvette Miller was also in the production. These are certificates for them. And Karl, this is the person that I've been saying all these wonderful things about what a wonderful teacher he is. Karl, tell us what it takes to put
Thank you very
Tales
much.
of the Ox
That's
together.
very nice of you. Yes, and I accept this award for Lucian Dodge and Will Yvette Miller, who really did an extraordinary job. They worked for months on that production. And tweaking it, working to do it over, get everything exactly right. Really impressive. I was impressed with the way they would not, their desire to get it perfect. And I think it came out really well. So I accept this for them, and I want to also thank everybody down here at PEGASYS, Lauren and her crew. It's a great thing. Video for young people is a tremendous thing. I think I would love to see more schools get to do it. I think it's unfortunate that there are only a few schools that are taking advantage of what PEGASYS can offer them in training and equipment. And if any folks are out there, students, teachers, I really encourage you to take advantage of it because it is a great thing for your school. It's a great thing for the kids. So Lucian was going to join me tonight. Lucian, I don't see you here. You should have been here. Thanks very much. And hey, Dad, we won. Thanks.
Okay, moving on to category 6, talk show. Anybody that looks at Channel 13 for even a short amount of time will see that it's full of talk shows. There's lots of talk shows. There's lots of people that want to get on TV and talk about things that are going on in this town. They want to talk about wide waters. They want to talk about the trails in the parks. They want to talk about what's going on in Common Council. They want to talk about elections. They want to talk about school boards. They want to talk about anything local involving local people doing local stuff in the arts and politics. And it's really easy to do that down here. In fact, it's just become easier because tonight we're using our brand new studio cameras, which are all remote control. So somebody's pushing a button in there to change shots. And all you have to do a talk show in here is set up a bunch of chairs, plug in a couple of microphones, and start rolling a tape, switch from camera to camera, and you get people knowledgeable about a subject. They can make a talk show. So I hope I gave a few people ideas, and I hope watching some of these clips will give you more ideas. This is a very good example of the variety of talk shows that we have down here. The contestants in this category are For the Duration by Robin Palmer, his show about Korea. Second is All Angles by Babetsky and Slovich, Finger Lakes Forum by Ben Curtis, and What's Cooking by Neil Schwartzbach. So let's take a look at the clips.
With the 1st Provisional Marine Brigade that was 5 weeks after the Korean War started.
Did you start at this both together?
We left.
Arrived
Yeah,
in country at the same time?
we were in
both
camp
stationed.
in California.
I was stationed at Camp Pendleton, and he was across the highway down where tanks and Amtraks were.
I see.
And what happened, the war started like 25th of June, and so right away they called everybody back from Liberty and everything, and they started mobilizing, they started getting your equipment ready, and by the time they loaded us within a week to 10 days on a ship, Frank and them went on APAs, troop ships. We went on LSDs because we had to take tanks with us. It took us about 25 days to get there on the ocean, and the convoy just kept meeting, and we got to Korea the 4th of August.
Well, I think if you were running the show, yes, what would you do? Well, I think it's a good thing, first of all, that professors don't run the show. But having said that, I think that the United States really has to have a two-pronged strategy, a strategy in the classic version that classically involves both a stick and a carrot. The stick has to be attacking the terrorist network that has attacked the United States. In this case, it's the Al-Qaeda network headed by bin Laden. There may be other networks involved as well. Considering that its headquarters is in Afghanistan and it's closely associated with the Taliban regime, this strikes me as a sensible place to start.
As an international consultant in economics, are there other markets that are developing capital markets outside of this country that have the drawing? I think security has been a big issue, a big strength of our capital market. Are there other capital markets that are emerging to the euro or anything?
Are emerging. I'm really not an expert on the international financial institutions. I know a lot about the balanced payment, but there was a time when Tokyo was threatening to compete with us, and in Germany and London. But of course, their economies, particularly the Japanese and the continental European economies, have been much weaker than ours.
So how did you get involved in this? How did I mean, this is an interesting topic, but not one that comes immediately to mind.
No. I was a disc jockey, a jazz disc jockey at K-Jazz in San Francisco. I was also a jazz record collector. I was a jazz journalist. I thought I knew a lot about jazz history. But then I took a women's studies course at San Francisco State, and I had to do, we're cutting up these
We're going to
peppers?
cut up the peppers.
Okay.
And a great way to cut it up is I just go from the stem all the way around like that.
Okay.
I do it once. I go like, take it apart.
Okay.
And just take
Mine
out
is
all the
out.
junk that's in there. The
Ew.
seeds.
Right.
The,
You don't want that.
and we'll just pile it up there.
Okay. So I didn't know that they were all-woman bands. I thought I knew a whole lot about the big bands and about jazz and swing.
Sherry, look at all these seeds that you've still got in the pepper.
I
mean,
cook.
mine doesn't have.
I don't cook. Okay.
I think you've got to admit that this is a really good selection of talk shows, quite unusual. I mean, how often do you get to hear a group of guys talking about their experiences in the Korean War? How often do you get to hear one of our local, very, very famous people, Alfred Kahn, talk to a local citizen about economics? They actually made 2 shows. And how often do you get to see people cooking and talking about politics at the same time in Wegmans Test Kitchen? So all of these talk shows they're not just same old, same old. They're creativity, they're local people talking about local stuff that makes people stop the dial and stop and listen because they matter to us, because they're people that we know and we care about and we're interested in and we see while we're shopping or on the Commons or somewhere. This is a weird category. This is the only category in which there's 2 awards because there was almost a tie. The winner won by just a couple of hundredths of a point. And so, and the loser was picked by 2 of the 3 judges to win, but was scored down by the 3rd for a reason that I'll explain in just a minute. And that brought him down just enough that there was this head-to-head tie. So I'm going to announce the one that came out 7/100ths of a point ahead first, and that one is the almost unbeatable format of What's Cookin' by Neil Schwartzbach, who, how can you beat a cooking show and a political talk show all put together? Neil promised to be here, but it looks like he didn't make it, so we're gonna set this one aside for a minute. And the other winner, 7/100ths of a point behind, who was picked by a long shot by 2 of the 3 judges to win, but the 3rd judge marked it down because something that's characteristic of this producer in all of his TV shows, the opening credits were 9 minutes long, and he really took offense to that. So the others, it just brought him down enough to be just slightly their runner-up. But we're going to give him a tie award anyway. That is For the Duration, the Korea Program by Robin Palmer. He's right here. I think he was also a member of that crew. He's a frequent member of the crew.
He is. He can't. He turn the lights on him and he gives a big grin. I want to thank everybody, that Jim Blizzard especially.
Yeah, Jim Blizzard.
Oh, good.
And I see Paul worked on the show, Paul
I sure
Smith.
did.
And James Beaujolais worked on this one. Come on up,
Right.
James. James, we need you up here. We need everybody associated with these productions up here. This is Jim Beaujolais, the crew members for this program, and also a talented producer in his own right. Come on up, Jim. So, Robin, did you finally finish your taxes? What brought you back to do this one more show?
No, Korea, and the anniversary. That's all it was. And Junior insisted, and Jim Blizzard insisted. I'm really sorry Jim Blizzard's not here because he does so much in this place, as you well know, Lauren, and he deserves more awards than he gets. And so I'm glad he got one. And I want to thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
And Cal Chris also worked on that show, by the way, who's also a veteran and very important in the veterans organizations here in Ithaca. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. All right, we're moving right along to the magazine instructional category. Basically, none of these were instructional shows, actually. They were all magazine format programs, meaning edited segments. And we have 5 entrants in this category. The first one is Amnesty International, produced by Vies van Luken, actually Amnesty International Ithaca, from the Ithaca chapter of Amnesty International. Second is All About Kids, produced by Peter, oh boy, Eloise, help me, Lalianas. The third is Newswatch, produced by Michael Johnson, but these are both from Ithaca College. The fourth is Consumer Issues, produced by John Hill at Cooperative Extension. This is something really wonderful that Cooperative Extension is doing. The Assistant Attorney General comes to answer questions by consumers about any issue they want. They have a presentation, but they also take questions from the public. They just kind of go around like the county judge or something, going around their county, meeting with people in different towns and villages. And the Cooperative Extension people gave him a place to meet, and they videotape it and put it on TV every month. So it really is a nice service that they do, videotaping that for us, and that the District Attorney for New York State, Assistant District Attorney, does too, to try and keep us abreast of how to keep from getting defrauded in various areas of our consumer lives. And the fifth one is Tompkins County Shines by Terry Harbin and the Tompkins County Public Library, which is part of the story of completing the installation of the solar panels on the roof of the Tompkins County Public Library. So 5 really interesting programs. Let's take a look at these clips, and then we'll be back to see the winner.
CVSA was actually founded in 1974 as Ithaca Rate Crisis
So it's been in the community for about 27 years. And initially, the organization offered services to survivors of rape and sexual assault, including a 24-hour hotline. In 1997, they added the Crime Victims Assistance Program, and earlier this year, they added the LGBT Outreach Program. So my program,
very recent.
it's very recent, and it kind of encompasses all of the services that the agency offers. I conduct outreach to the LGBT communities, informing them of the services of the agency, as well as doing prevention education programs for the general community in terms of preventing victimization of LGBT people.
What kinds of things are found in Tompkins County? Housing discrimination, kids being harassed in school?
Actually, Tompkins County and the city of Ithaca both have local anti-discrimination laws on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity.
Kids of all ages waited patiently in line to get their faces painted. Kids from different classes gathered together to paint ceramic apples in honor of the annual Apple Festival. We talked to some of the kids that were there and asked them questions about their favorite part of the Apple Festival.
I was like getting my hand paint, and I was like collecting these.
What are those?
These are apple stuff.
Apple stuff? It's because of the Apple Festival today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your favorite thing that you did here today?
I like when I got my hand paint.
Move over, Dr. Doolittle. Cornell University's College of Veterinary Medicine opened its doors on Saturday to thousands of Central New Yorkers for its 35th annual open house. Kids and adults alike were able to walk and talk with the animals, many getting a first-hand look at what some not-so-domestic types are really like.
Aiden's about the right age now for, understanding what's going on a little bit and enjoying the animals.
Meet Chewbacca, a Bactrian camel here at Cornell. Now, no doubt this open house provides an ample opportunity for kids and adults alike to pet as many animals as they want, but it also serves a deeper purpose, to educate the public as well. Come on, come on. There you go.
Almost every exhibit here does have some educational value, I think, and you're right, a lot of it is just petting animals, but I think we try to sneak in the education behind all that and get them really interested in it.
The typical story is the person that comes driving up to the door and says, I have a half a load of blacktop in the back of my truck. We're working on a state job somewhere, and we're finished for the day, and we can't use this tomorrow. We're going to be back tomorrow. I can give you a great rate on it. I see your driveway needs to be done. We'll do what we can do today, and I'll be back tomorrow, and you'll get a great rate since all I have to do is throw this out anyway. We're violating a couple of the rules we've already talked about. We didn't get any estimates. We didn't get any references. People come in, they lay down this blacktop, they get paid, they hand a bill. The consumer doesn't know if that bill is cheap or not cheap. They pay it, and it turns out that it's 4 times the price of what a reputable contract.
Actually, with New York State having such high energy rates, the markets like New York City and Long Island are more economically attractive for this technology than California, because the rates in New York are so high, they make up for the fact that there's less sun.
So this is the first in Tompkins County, obviously.
This is the first of this size in Tompkins County. I'm sure there's a number of residential homes that might have a smaller system, maybe 10 of these individual panels, but we've got 1,430 panels here.
So this is the future.
It's the only way we're going to make electricity without generating carbon dioxide.
Well, I think you can all see as you looked at those clips that putting together shows that you shoot in the field and have to go back and edit and have to assemble a whole bunch of pieces is a lot harder than doing a straight talk show. And so I think people that try and give us this level of detail and information really deserve a lot of credit. The winner in the category of magazine format instructional programming is Tompkins County Shines by Terry Harbin and the Tompkins County Public Library. Congratulations, Terry, and let me read off the name of the several crew members that you mentioned: Enrique Caseta, Joe Casaniti, and that's it. Yes, on to the next one. Whoops.
Well, it was really good to produce this show. It came up kind of at the last minute.
I don't have to invite Terry to speak.
Right.
Go right ahead.
Right, but working on a documentary on the making of the new library, and in June of last year, I heard they're going to have a symposium to dedicate the panels, And I was just looking over some of the footage I had showing them put it in, and realized I would use hardly any of it in the final production. So I thought that maybe when people came to dedicate the panels, they could look at this show. And it went over big. People were glad to see it. And the best part about it is people want to come and see the solar panels, and they want to go up on the roof, and they want to look around, and we can show them a video now and keep them from wanting to go up on the roof. And it's actually in the library. We had to make 2 copies of it, and I made a nice cover and made it look like a professional type thing. And, you know, it was really well received because it's such a new subject around here, and the library being one of the first ones to do something like this, I was glad to be part of it.
Well, congratulations.
Yep.
Good job. All right, we're up to another quite hotly contested candidates because I see a bunch of people that represent the 3 entries that we have in the next category, short subject. And there are 3 of them, all from Ithaca High School. The first one is Headlight, produced by Benjamin Cox, who's here. Oh, okay. The second is Canvas, produced by Seth Bernstein, who is also here. I recognize Seth. I see you guys all on TV. I know who you all are. The third is Creative Conscience, produced by Schuyler Wood, who's also here. I already recognized him. All right, so these are 3 very creative short subjects produced by Ithaca High School students. And we all want to know who wins, but first let's take a look.
Private eye. Yeah. Yeah. Huh?
Well, I would like to see a little more of all 3 of those, but unfortunately we only have time for a minute for each clip. The winner in the short subject category is Schuyler Wood for Creative Conscience. Congratulations. How does it end? How does it end for those of us here?
The guy encounters...
Creativity is stopped up there suddenly for some reason.
This guy is trying to think of a project, a short story to write, and his creative conscience pops up on the page, and in the end, he gets rid of it by hitting it with a cross. But really, I just want to say that what was said before by Karl is totally true. I mean, the programs that allow high school students to work with video and the equipment that we have is so amazing, and people should definitely get into it. It's taught us so much about media literacy and production in general. I want to thank everybody at the studio. Everybody's great there. And I'm surprised. I'm shocked.
Modest, too. Okay. So now we're on to another kind of weird category. It says media professional. What that really means is that my staff have gotten so jealous not being able to participate in the awards program because their staff people and things that they work on aren't eligible to be entered, that I had to create a separate category for them so they could be in the awards too and get some acknowledgement. And really, especially in the past 2 or 3 years, we've started to do a lot more staff-assisted productions. And if we have not-for-profit organizations that come in and can't make their own TV shows, sometimes we go and we produce things for teachers. Sometimes we go and produce things that are community events, or such as the festival, or arts events, or public speaking events, and so on. So we've got 2 entries in this category which were initiated, and the idea of community members or community groups, but the actual technical production was led by one of my staff, Paul Smith. The first one is called The Moe Show. This is a 4th grade teacher in Lansing School her name is Maureen Johnson, but she created a persona, a clown named Moe. And so she dresses up in a clown suit and she enters her class and she is Moe. And she brings in, and she basically does a whole TV show with all her students participating in the whole persona as the clown, Moe. And so we have helped her over the past 3 years videotape quite a number of these Moe shows. And Paul helped her with one that's a contestant in this category. The second is a community event that Robin Palmer actually was interested in doing, that the Ithaca Ballet was doing a performance at Culp Auditorium, and we decided that we would help bring that to the tiny little screen. And so Paul Smith and a number of volunteers, we kind of put together an ensemble crew with volunteers and staff to go and cover that event. And so this is a performance by the Ithaca Ballet. So these are 2 staff-assisted events that are sort of hybrid community productions with staff help that we have in this category. So let's take a look.
Okay, quiet on the set. Okay, now, you're the champion, Mr. English. Defending champion. Let me get your broken cookies out. Tyler, take any broken cookies out that you want to. You know, it's not fair to have to stack them.
No, he had it down pretty good. He's quite a stacker.
Okay.
He's gonna slip them all into mine.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Wait a minute, do you get to grab any?
You can do it
I can
however
touch
you
'em?
want. Anyway. Ready? Go. Da 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 da.
I just wanted to say a word about Paul Smith, since he is the person that was in charge of the technical production of both of those entries. That Paul has been working with us since 1993. So he's been working with us for March 93, so almost 9 years this next month. And he has consistently said to anyone who will listen that he's got the best job in the world, that he loves what he does, and he wouldn't be in any other town, in any other job. He's in the exact place that he wants to be, doing the exact thing that he wants to do, and he loves doing this and helping people make community TV shows more than anything else in the world. And how many people can say that about their jobs? I think that it's pretty wonderful that he's able to be here, he's able to do what he loves, and he's able to help people make TV shows, and he's able to really communicate that enjoyment to everyone. So whichever one wins, we do appreciate the fact that we've got somebody like Paul around here willing to dedicate his time to helping make all of this possible. So, but I will announce a winner, and the winner is The Moe Show, produced by Maureen Johnson and technical production by Paul Smith. As it happens, Paul Smith is directing this TV show, so we're going to have to drag him out of the control room and let him put Kevin on the board, who has been itching for that very opportunity for the past hour and probably is very happy to do it. Come on up, Paul. Take a bow. What was it like working on The Moe Show with Maureen Johnson?
It was very loud. There were a lot of kids screaming in our ears constantly. She's got a very active, dedicated group of kids, and it's obvious that they're very interested in what they're doing, and that she uses the class to help them learn about a number of different things, and I think she does a really good job on it. And it was a pleasure to work on that show, and it's a pleasure to accept this award for her.
All right, so now we are at the big finale, which are the 4 finalists that are going to go on to the Hometown Awards. And I'm not going to show you 30 clips right now of all the contenders for that, because that would take too long. We don't have quite that much time. So I am just going to announce them. And as I said, 2 of them won in their categories and 2 of them did not. So 2 of them will be surprises that you haven't heard before. So I'm going to draw out the suspense by getting these awards and bring them up first. And let me just have all four of the winners and everybody from their crew that may happen to be present come up front. The first one for Best Public Access, the top scoring public access show is A New York Story by Daniel Levin. Come on up, Daniel. So that one did win in its category. The second Best Public Access, the one that came in with the next highest score and will be sent on to the Hometown Awards, is UFO in Ithaca, the Second Generation by Ritva Cedarstrom. Come on up, Ritva. And if you could just stand here, that's great. And the 2 best educational governmental access programs, the highest scoring show was Tompkins County Shines by Terry Harbin of the Tompkins County Public Library. If you could just take a place right there. And the next highest scoring educational governmental access show was High School Challenge, produced by Chris Exaver and the Tompkins County community. And Matt, why don't you come up here too? You worked on High School Challenge? He said he has. Come on up. Absolutely, come on up. Anybody else of you guys that worked on High School Challenge, by all means? Francis? Francis has as well. Come on up, Francis. Let me just explain. The Hometown Awards is held once a year. There's 2,000 or maybe probably closer to 3,000 right now access centers all over the country, and they get as many as 4,000 entrants into this award that has 40 categories and in professional and non-professional subcategories and so on. And if you look at our wall of fame out by the front, you'll see that we've snagged a few through the help of producers here and at Ithaca College and other places. So we're really hoping that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of these contenders will be able to win a hometown as well. If there's anybody that's in this group that would also like to enter the Hometown Awards, I have entry materials that are outside. We would encourage as many people from Ithaca to participate as possible, because we really want to reach out and acknowledge the really great work that everybody does. But right now, I'd like you to give our give our finalists a good round of applause to send them on their way to Houston. No, I'm not actually, no, I'm sending the tapes to Houston. We seem to have a slight misunderstanding here. Unfortunately, I can't fit any of you guys in the packing for the tapes, so the tapes are going to Houston, and and actually, I will be going to Houston, so if any of you guys win, you could have the accept for you, which would be good. And we actually have had winners before, so it's not impossible. It's very possible that you could win a national award. And congratulations to all of you. And just stay here with me. Just stay here because we're about to finish up our awards program. I want to thank everybody for coming. We have. It's gone too fast. I don't have enough time to spend with you all together in a social occasion. I'm always running in and out of edit suites, and I don't get to just hang out. So this is a really good time to do that. What I'd like to do is have, for the end of our program, everybody who's won a PEGASYS Award come up front because I need a group photo to put on our website, and we need a group photo to close the show. So if I could have all the rest of our PEGASYS Awards winners come up front with their awards. For our group shot, we will close the show on that. For those of you watching at home, thank you so much for joining us. And salute to our PEGASYS Awards winner as we close the show. Thank you for joining us. Good night.